Hi boys and girls, we're going to continue with reading Kidnap King today, but first we need to go over our new set of words. Hope you're all doing well. We miss you all so much. All right. Okay, I want you to really concentrate on what I'm saying here today. We're still dealing with I, okay? Short I, that's our I sound. Grip, bring, lip. I. You hear that short I sound, your nose kind of wrinkles, you know that it's just an I. So the short I, grip, bring, lip. Okay, same pattern we've had before. I consonant E. Drive, price, bite. You hear the long I sound in all of them, and it is I consonant E, so I consonant E, I consonant E, I consonant E. Gives us all the long sound. So I consonant E, drive, price, bite. Okay, now the pattern we started working with last week. IGH, it does give us the long I sound, okay? Fright, light, might. In all of those words, we hear the long I sound, and we have IGH, IGH, IGH. So again, the IGH, the long I sound, fright, light, might. Then, this is a new pattern. This is I consonant consonant. And when we have I consonant consonant, it gives us the long I sound. Mild, you hear I, and then we have I, and then L and D are both consonants. Wild, we have the I, L, and D, which are both consonants. And then child, we have I, consonant, consonant, the long I sound. Now, all of these are LD. They're not always going to be just LD, so that's why I'm going to teach it to you as I consonant, consonant. But when you have I consonant, consonant, you do get the long I sound. So let's go over all these words again. Our short I sound, grip, bring, lip. I consonant E, drive, price, bite. IGH, fright, light, might. I consonant consonant, mild, wild, child. Please notice when you get ready to sort your words later today, we've got 3 in each category, so make sure you concentrate and pay attention to what you're doing. And don't forget to put your name on your Google Forms. All right. Our first vocabulary word for this week. Kidnapping. Kidnapping is a crime. It's when somebody or some group of people take somebody and they try to get a ransom for them. They try to get people to pay to give them back, okay? So obviously from our title, Kidnapped King, we know, and from what happened, from what Sammy told us about his father and mother, we know that they've been kidnapped. So they've been taken against their will and people are trying to get money for them. All right. Let's continue with The Kidnapped King by Ron Roy. Chapter 6. Inside the house, Officer Fallon examined the piece of glass. If this came out of the boy's kaleidoscope, how'd it get on your front steps, he asked. The top unscrews, Dink explained. Sammy likes to take the glass out. Josh and Ruth Rose stood silently in Dink's kitchen. Pal lay at Josh's feet, snoozing. Dink was sitting at the table with his mom and Officer Fallon. Officer Keene had left to organize a search. Officer Fallon sighed. He left the piece of glass on the table and stood up. Green Lawn isn't that big, he said. We'll find the boy. I'll make sure every possible way out of town is checked. Try not to worry, okay? Dink's mother grabbed her car keys. I'm going to drive around and look for him, she said. Can we come too? Dink asked. His mother shook her head. You can help by staying home, she said. She looked at Officer Fallon. Do you think the kidnappers would telephone here? Officer Fallon nodded. They might try to make contact. The kidnappers usually wait a few days before calling. They like to get the family worried so that they'll hand over more ransom money. Dink watched his mother and Officer Fallon leave. He heard the front door lock click into position. Look at this, Dink said. He showed Josh and Ruth Rose the damaged door. Boy, this is creepy, Josh said. Poor Sammy, Ruth Rose said. He must be so scared. Let's go check out his room, Dink said. Maybe we'll find more clues. The kids hurried toward the stairs. Pal followed them into Sammy's room, his long ears brushing the floor. Sammy's sheet and blanket were tangled half off the bed. Dink walked over to the bureau. A bureau is a fancy word for like a chest of drawers where you keep your clothes. There was a kaleidoscope box and 2 small mounds of colored glass. Each mound was a different color. All right, and here they are, and they're looking at the glass from the kaleidoscope. This is the kaleidoscope, Dink said, removing it from the box. See, he took all the glass out. Josh touched the jewels that decorated the kaleidoscope. Are these real? He asked. Sammy said they were, Dink answered. Ruth Rose was examining the pieces of glass. Where are the yellow pieces? She asked. What do you mean? Dink asked. The piece we found is yellow, she said, but all I see here is red and blue, no yellow. That's weird, Dink said. Let's look around. The kids began to search Sammy's room for the yellow glass. Pal waddled around sniffing everything. Dink checked in the bathroom, while Josh went through the clothes in the closet. Ruth Rose got down on her hands and knees and looked under the bed. Well, if there's yellow glass in this room, I don't know where it is, Josh said. He stepped out from the closet. Watch out, Ruth Rose yelled, stopping Josh in his tracks. Now, I can synthesize here by thinking of another story I know. In the story Hansel and Gretel, 2 children are kidnapped and they leave a trail of breadcrumbs so they can be found. We know that only the yellow glass is gone and the kids are finding pieces one at a time. I think that they are going to find a trail, and I think that because I know another story that has that similar type of clue. So we'll see, we'll keep reading. She snatched something from the carpet where Josh was about to step. It was another piece of yellow glass. Just then the phone rang. Dink ran down the stairs and grabbed the phone on its 3rd ring. Hello? Dink listened for a minute. Then he yelled up the stairs. Hey guys, it's Officer Fallon. He wants to know if Sammy's pajamas and slippers are in his room. Can you look? He waited. Ruth Rose came to the top of the stairs. No PJs or slippers, she said. Dink spoke into the phone. We can't find them. After a minute, Dink hung up the phone. He climbed up the stairs to Sammy's room. What's up with the slippers? Josh asked. Ron Panowski found a gold tassel near the river by his bait shop, Dink said. Sammy's slippers had gold tassels on them. But what? And one of Mr. Pankowski's boats is missing, Dink interrupted. He stared at his 2 friends. Officer Fallon thinks the kidnappers took Sammy away in a boat. All right, and we're going to stop right there. Let's talk about it for a minute. How do you think the kids are feeling about this kidnapping? I can imagine they're a little scared. I mean, kidnapping is something you hear about on the news or see on TV, but to actually have it happen to a friend of yours has got to be really scary, especially when he was kidnapped right out of Dink's own house. And again, let's talk about this yellow glass. Do you think it could be a clue? Do you think that maybe Sammy left a trail to kind of help the kids find him? We're going to hope so. And why is Pal sniffing? Remember, Pal's a hound, right? And that's what he does. And so do you think in his own way, maybe Pal's helping look for clues? Because remember, he kept licking Sammy over and over. He really liked Sammy. So maybe Pal's worried too. And why do they think that he was taken by boat? Well, one of the local guys that has like a boat rental place, one of his boats is missing. So they think that maybe they took Sammy in the boat by river. They found a piece of his slipper. So seems like a plausible theory. We'll read more tomorrow and find out if it's true. Thanks for listening.